Europa has been lying to us. For decades, we looked at Europa and saw a frozen wasteland, a silent, lifeless world orbiting Jupiter. It looked complete, finished, dead. But that image was wrong. Because beneath that clean white surface, something has been happening, something warm, something active, something that should not exist this far from the sun. And recently, the James Webb Space Telescope started pulling back the curtain. Not by landing, not by drilling, just by looking carefully, reading the chemistry written across the ice, and what it found changes everything. Europa is smaller than our moon, just over 3,000 kilometers across. From the outside, it looks simple, ice cracked and stretched like a broken shell. But in the 1990s, something unexpected happened. A spacecraft passed by and detected a disturbance, a magnetic signature that didn't make sense. The only explanation? A massive ocean, hidden beneath the ice. Not a small ocean. An ocean containing more water than all of Earth combined, sealed under 10 to 30 kilometers of frozen crust. A complete world, hidden in darkness. But that creates a problem. Europa is freezing cold, around minus 160 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, everything should be solid, so why isn't it? Because Europa is not still. It's constantly being pulled, stretched, and squeezed by Jupiter's gravity, a process known as tidal heating. Every orbit, the moon flexes, and that flexing generates heat, enough to keep an ocean alive for billions of years. Now imagine what that means, a deep ocean, far deeper than anything on Earth. No sunlight, no sky, no surface contact, just water and darkness. And at the bottom, rock, water touching rock, the same environment where life began on Earth. For years, that possibility was just a theory. We knew the ocean existed, but we couldn't see inside it, couldn't test it, couldn't confirm anything. We were guessing. Then everything changed. The James Webb Space Telescope looked at Europa's surface in infrared, not to see it, but to read it. To identify the molecules frozen into the ice, and it found carbon dioxide. But not everywhere, not randomly scattered. It was concentrated in one specific region. Terra Regio, a chaotic, disrupted area where the surface looks freshly broken. That detail matters, because if the carbon had come from space, it would be spread out, uniform. Instead, it was localized, which points to something else. An internal source, the ocean below pushing material upward, leaving chemical fingerprints on the surface. And carbon changes everything, because carbon is not just another molecule. It is the backbone of life. Every known organism depends on it. Now suddenly, Europa has three key ingredients: liquid water, energy, and carbon. That's not proof of life, but it removes one more reason to think life can't exist there. Scientists also expected something dramatic: plumes, jets of water erupting into space. The Hubble Space Telescope thought it saw them years ago, but when Webb looked, it found nothing. No constant plumes, no steady activity, which tells us something important. Europa doesn't reveal itself easily. If it's active, it's unpredictable, silent most of the time. And then there's the surface itself. Europa is one of the most hostile places in the solar system. Jupiter bombards it with intense radiation, strong enough to destroy complex molecules, strong enough to kill instantly. Anything that reaches the surface gets erased. But here's the contradiction. That same radiation might be helping the ocean. It breaks apart molecules on the surface, creating oxygen, which could sink down through the ice and feed the ocean below. A system where destruction becomes fuel. Everything about Europa feels wrong. a frozen moon with a living interior, a deadly surface, protecting a potentially habitable ocean, a world that shouldn't work, but does. That's why NASA launched Europa Clipper, a spacecraft designed to get closer than anything before. It won't land, it won't drill, but it will do something just as powerful. It will fly through the environment around Europa and collect tiny grains of ice, microscopic particles, ejected from the surface, each one a frozen sample of what lies beneath. Now imagine this. One grain of ice is captured. Inside it, organic molecules, maybe amino acids, maybe something completely unfamiliar. That single grain could change everything we know about life, not by proving life exists, but by proving the chemistry of life is not unique to Earth. Europa never demanded attention. It didn't explode like other moons. It didn't show lakes or rivers. It hid everything, buried under kilometers of ice, and waited. Now for the first time it's starting to answer, quietly, carefully, through chemistry. And when the question is no longer, is Europa just a frozen moon? The real question is, what has been living beneath that ice this entire time?